What's up, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Basketball LILA Network. On this network, we're going to be discussing basketball, making predictions, playing some fun games with each other, and most importantly, just having as much fun as we can. I'm your host, Benjamin Schaefer. I'm a junior, and I'm here with my co-host, Thomas Touraine.
Yo, what is goody, LILA gang?
LILA gang!
LILA gang! Alright, so first I think it's best that we, you know who we are, obviously, but I think it's better that we introduce ourselves when it comes to basketball.
Ball knowledge!
Ball knowledge. So we're going to be talking a little bit about our favorite teams, our favorite players, etc. before we get into the real nitty-gritty.
My favorite team, ever since I've been watching basketball, Los Angeles Clippers.
Terrible. My favorite team are the Dallas Mavericks. Coming.
Below the Clippers in the standings.
Doesn't matter.
Favorite player, I'd have to go with Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. Big fan, I love him.
My favorite player is either Luka Doncic, Maverick, or Victor Wembanyama.
Can't even say his name right.
Victor Wembanyama, French player, French prodigy, GOAT. He's as tall as me.
Thomas, who's your greatest basketball player of all time?
I think it's obviously a debate between LeBron and Jordan. However, LeBron, he's 40, he's washed.
He's my sunshine.
He's being consistent. However, Jordan was being excellent. And that's why Michael Jordan is my GOAT.
Greatness versus goodness, I'm going to have to agree with him there. LeBron might be good, but Michael Jordan is great. 6 for 6 in the finals.
Amen.
2 3-peats. His
Amen.
own shoe, that's better than LeBron's shoe.
No one wears LeBron's.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Michael Jordan as my
Julian
go-to.
Kintz wears Jordans every single day.
Julian Kintz, the GOAT, wears the GOAT shoes, of
Exactly.
course. I guess next up to kind of give you some context of our ball knowledge. Thomas, when did you start watching basketball?
I recently started watching basketball in around 2020.
He's kind of a noob.
But I have a lot more ball knowledge than Benji
Not
from
true.
Things going around 2020 and up.
Not true. I guess
So,
we'll have to find out.
I guess we will find out.
I started watching basketball. Let me think. My earliest basketball memory, the Damian Lillard buzzer beater, Game 5 over the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You were 6 years old.
I was 12 years old. Ever since then, I fell in love with the game. I've kept track of everything. I know old stuff. I know everything there is to know. My ball knowledge is practically infinite.
Your forehead is practically infinite, so I hope a lot of ball knowledge can fit in there. Anyways.
To start off this episode, I guess since we're coming into this, we're starting a little bit late in this season. We should probably do a season recap of the 23-24 season.
Facts.
3-team race in the West for the first seed.
The Thunder, young team, very young team. People doubting if they can make it to the playoffs. Time and time again, however, they have showed they are willing to take up that role. They have
Josh Giddey over 18 every night. It's really
They
impressive.
have a young roster. They have a deep roster. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Arguably the MVP, has been in the top 3 for the MVP race practically the entire season. They have Jalen Williams. Both of them are very good role players, averaging around
Asian Duke Dennis. Next team in the 3-team race. Chill.
Oh, I know you're not saying.
The Denver Nuggets. Looking like very possible they could be back-to-back champions this year.
Reigning champions.
Nikola
Amen.
Jokic, the Joker. Jamal Murray, the Joker on Instagram, if you know what I mean. They are looking very good this year. They're in second. They're only half a game back from the Thunder.
Arguably the deepest bench in the NBA. Very good role players. For example, there was a game earlier this season. They had none of their stars.
No.
And Reggie Jackson came out and dropped 40 points.
Miss him on the Clippers.
Okay? Because that's the type of roster they have. They have a roster that can adapt to change. And all centered around that, they have Nikola Jokic, who is built for making plays as easy as possible for the players. So when you have a strong roster filled with strong role players, give them Nikola Jokic, and they become all-star level on the court.
The next team in this 3-team race, been up and down all season, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Man.
Now, we all know they've got that big 3. Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan's son, some people think.
Arguably.
Some people think. He's had some pretty nasty dunks. We'll throw some of those up here. Woof. Oh,
Dang!
Holy
moly.
Wow.
Did he break his finger on that one?
He killed that guy.
Wow.
So, Anthony Edwards, forced to be reckoned with, okay?
Reckoned with.
This guy is real good. Could have played baseball. Could have played football.
Arguably, he's in the top 5 for the MVP race.
I would not agree with that. But you know what? He could have played baseball, could have played football. He's here tearing it up on NBA courts.
Amen.
Then you got Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, arguably, if not Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he's been in the race. He's been up first in the standings for Defensive Player of the Year. Statistically, he has been.
He's a super spreader. He really spreads out the court. He's really spreading out players and creating that sort of defensive prowess. That's
what I'd love to see from Karl Anthony Towns is his spreading ability and the way he can lay that D down.
Karl Anthony Towns, their third player, he scored 71 points earlier this season.
Amen.
And really that shows that they have these three players who...
And they lost.
They did lose that game. They work on three different parts of the game, and they've really come together to clearly win a lot of games. They're 51-23.
However, they are falling in the bottom bracket of that big three in third place because Karl Anthony Towns is currently out. However, he is expected to be returning before the end of the regular season, so they might be able to still make a final push to the top.
Another big storyline in the East? Yeah, you know it. Boston Celtics. Pretty good. So they've got... He's only 19. Jason Tatum.
He's 19?
He's 19.
Wait, not 19. He's 26.
Jason Tatum is he's still very young, very dominant. Maybe in my opinion a little
overrated.
But we're gonna get there later. That's next on the agenda. Look forward to that. Next up we got right hand only Jaylen Brown. They just signed him to what, like $600 million?
Not worth it.
He's got one season.
He did not get signed for $600 million.
He did like 545. Ball knowledge check.
What?
304. Okay, I got it slightly wrong.
Okay.
We'll cut that out.
Okay, so they just paid their entire future for someone who does not have the ability to access their left hand.
Also, Jaylen Brown was one who said in an interview about 5 years ago that he would win the next 5 championships. He's got 1 year left to win 5 championships. He's got 1 year left for those 5. Third, they got Tingus Pingus. Really been dominant. Big guy off the Wizards. They traded for him. That's who I'm talking about. Kristaps Porzingis. He's really good shooting big. He's been pretty good for them.
And he can lay down that D on anyone.
Lay down the D on anyone. Not before I shut you up.
Next up in the East. We have another big story coming into the season.
Milwaukee Bucks.
We knew they would do well. The Milwaukee Bucks now signing star player, all-star starter, Damian Lillard.
They didn't sign him. They didn't sign him. They traded for him. They didn't sign him. They traded for him. Ball knowledge. They traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard, and it seems to have worked out for them. They had some coaching troubles. They fired Adrian Griffin. They replaced him with Doc Rivers, and you know they're second place.
Don't
know
why
East.
they did that.
I know why, because they were bad and now they're good. They got Pat Bev. They're second place in the East. They're doing pretty well.
Can't forget the Bev.
You can't.
The silence was deafening.
They've got some dogs on their team, man. They're scary. They're just that far behind Boston. I mean, I'm gonna talk about this one. My Clippers. They've had an up and down season. They started 3-7, not looking great. After picking up James Harden early on, it's looking like this big four of Rusty baby, Russell Westbrook. Brooke, James Harden, PG-13 smoothest player in the league, and Mr. Kawhi Leonard. I love him. Wasn't looking good, but now they've shot up to 4th in the West. Seems like they're going to stay there. They're definitely not moving up from 4.
Well, they're right in front of the Mavericks, who are on a very good winning streak and who have been doing exceptionally well, considering that, in my opinion, I think in everybody's opinion, they won the trade deadline. They got a great big. They got PJ Washington as well, who has increased.
Gafford.
Yeah, they got
Gafford. He had 33 field goals in a row.
Exactly.
I said that right.
He was on fire. He's been on fire, and he's been extremely useful. It's very good for Luka to have a big.
Another one of my favorite stories out of the season has been Paolo Banchero and sing the song.
I don't know the song.
Orlando Magic. Play it. All right, he doesn't know it.
Oh, that song.
Yeah. So the Orlando Magic have been doing pretty well for themselves. I mean, the Eastern Conference is fairly weak, so I guess
I just don't see them doing well in the playoffs, realistically.
Hey, we'll get there. The Eastern Conference is not that stacked, so it's not that hard, but hey, that's been a big season. The Magic going from pretty terrible for a few years to now, pretty competitive. I mean, they're the 5th seed in the East, but they're, a game back from the 3rd seed, which is a good seed. Another big story this season, the MVP race. It seems like there's 5 main candidates, despite what he'll have you believe. Jokic.
Yeah, because why the hell is Jason Tatum on there? Like, that dude is overrated. I
mean, it's definitely not.
He's the best player on the best team. That doesn't mean he's the best player in the league.
I don't like Tatum either. Okay, we've got Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or some might say Jason Tatum. My pick for MVP, as of right now, today, doing the most for his team, especially with their recent success.
It's about to be some. Ooh, I guess.
Hey, he's gonna like this. Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah. I agree.
I'll say
it is Luka Doncic. Recently, he's moved.
Jason
down.
Tatum is 19. If Luka did that, his averages would go
Jason
down.
Tatum is not 19. First of all,
if Luka Doncic did that, his averages would go down.
Luka Doncic is very young. He's leading a team, like I said, on a winning streak. They're still technically a rebuilding team. Not rebuilding, but they're not a contender. And I personally think Luka Doncic being as young as he is and he has Kyrie Irving, but relative to some of the other teams where these players
doesn't have as much help.
He does not have as much help.
He's doing a lot.
So he is dropping. I think he's averaging around 30.
Did you see that crazy clip? Let's throw it up. His little layup from the 3-point line.
His layup from the 3-point line.
That's some MVP.
Man.
Well, I can't believe he did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the type of stuff you only see on BBL Network. I mean, anyway, so I think we both are agreeing that Luka's our top pick.
Yep.
But here's something I'm gonna say. I think Joel Embiid should not have been MVP last season.
At all. No one thinks he should.
I think Joel Jokic deserved that three-peat.
Of course.
I think maybe it was a close race. They felt bad for
Voter
Embiid.
fatigue.
They throw Embiid a few votes, but he did not deserve it. I believe, I'm going to say it, Embiid is one of the most overrated players in the NBA right now. That's my opinion.
Easily.
I think my overrated players, I go Joel Embiid.
Agreed.
Jason Tatum.
Agreed.
Rudy Gobert.
Agreed.
Anthony Davis. Devin Booker.
Kind of.
Devin
Anthony
Booker.
Davis.
I'm going to say those guys are pretty overrated.
I wouldn't say Anthony Davis is as overrated.
Can I explain why?
I think. Well, okay.
What about LeBron Bond?
LeBron is perfectly rated.
Yeah.
He does everything he needs to do for me.
Exactly.
He strokes that three just right. He really puts strokes on the
Recently, LeBron, I'm not sure you guys saw this. LeBron just recorded a 40-point game with the Lakers. Man, he was 9 for 10 from 3. I have never seen an old man stroke it from deep that well.
I was watching the Clippers play the Lakers the other day, and Clippers were up something 20 in the third quarter. Complete collapse. LeBron took over. At the age of 40, just kept stroking him. He threw it in, and it was going in.
Still stroking at that old age.
He got the ball, it was going in. Got the ball, it was going in. This old man was destroying my dreams, okay? I was crying at the TV. I wasn't crying, but it was pretty sad. It was unfortunate.
I've never seen someone be able to destroy the D while at the same time going on offense and stroking the ball. I mean,
at that age,
he's
dude,
been doing
40 years
for
old.
21 years. 21 years of straight stroking.
I'm going to explain my Anthony Davis pick because a few people in the room seem not so happy about that. So, to be frankly honest with you, when I watch the NBA, I don't look at stats. I'm not looking at that type of thing. I'm watching and I'm thinking, what player is making the biggest impact? I'm watching who's making me go, whoa, this guy is really good. And frankly, Anthony Davis has never done that for me. I'm watching, and other than the one moment I can remember that is his buzzer beater in 2020.
What you have to understand is Anthony Davis, as overrated as he is consistently...
So you admit he's overrated?
Yes, he's overrated. Of course he's overrated. Is he the most overrated player in the league in the top 5?
Top 6.
No. I don't think he comes close. He's maybe in the top 15, and I think it's because Anthony Davis is still a very clutch defender, has a lot of endurance and stamina that almost no other player.
His health is an issue.
He just played 52 minutes recently when his health is not an issue. I mean, you can make an argument that he's Defensive Player of the Year. And it also it shows that he is consistently defending.
But he's ugly. Let's move on to the playoff race. So it seems like towards the bottom of this play-in playoffs, it's a little more interesting in the West. We've got the 9 seed, the 10 seed, and the 11 are the Lakers, Warriors, and Rockets. And there was definitely some real concern that the Rockets were going to pass Steph Curry.
I still think they can do it.
Steph Curry's Warriors.
I hope they do it.
Arguably,
fatherhood. Jalen Green is playing like he had that baby inside of him.
That's true. He's got that baby in him. But the Warriors, I'd say, have been the most disappointing team of the season. I can't name a more disappointing team. They add CP. How do you get worse when you have CP? That's what I don't understand. CP should make any team better. Ask Josh Giddey. I'm just saying, when CP was on the Thunder, they performed significantly better. Am I wrong? I'm just saying. It seems like the Rockets are now 2 games back from the play-in. But the West is so loaded that...
And I was thinking about this earlier as well. The Rockets really have a good roster.
They do. Alfred
Sengun.
He's out. He's out. And they've been out without him.
Arguably their best player.
Jalen Green.
Dylan
Bricks.
Dylan Briggs, Jabari Smith Jr.,
Eamon Thompson.
Fred Van Vliet, Eamon Thompson, one of the best rookies.
And their coach, Ime Oduka.
He's a great coach.
Great coach, not a great husband.
If they don't make it to the play-in this season,
They're on the way up.
I strongly think they can make it to the playoffs easily. I'd see them in the top 8 position by the end of the next season.
It's pretty unfortunate that they're in the West because I think in the East they would be pretty
They would
firmly
definitely
in the
be
playoffs.
dominating. However, that's not how maps work.
Well, okay, I'm not going to argue where Houston is. What is your prediction for this final outcome for this top 3 in the West we were talking about? Who do you think ends up with that 1, 2, 3?
Honestly,
I hope he's honest.
I think I see Nuggets, Thunder, Timberwolves. I hope the Timberwolves take up the number 2 spot. I don't see them beating the Nuggets.
You know
I think the Nuggets have the most experience and they just are fresh off a championship and they're in a winning position again.
I'm going to agree with him. And I think that'll make things interesting having the Thunder be that high up. Because if a team like the Lakers ends up with the 7, Thunder Lakers, even though the Thunder have won so many more games, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that 7-game series.
Right.
Because I feel like
and it's going to be very interesting to see how such a young team with barely any playoff experience performs when they've been at the top of the league for the entire season.
Teams like the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and the Pelicans in the West, even though they've been winning a lot, it'll be really interesting to see if that lack of experience really hurts them, or maybe they surprise everyone.
That's also why this isn't really a segment that I'm aware of, but that's why I think the Nuggets are going to win it all again, because they have finished basically where they finished at the start of the season. Last season, they were in the same position, winning position.
True.
They've been in contention. They're in contention with very young teams.
They've been in contention every year, and their team has only gotten better.
And now this year, they're in contention with very young teams. The East not being as stacked, I don't see the Celtics doing well. I mean, they lost to the Hawks last year. I just don't see them.
Frankly, the two teams
performing.
I see making out of the West, it's going to be the Nuggets, the Clippers, or the Mavericks. That's 3. I said 2. I think those teams, realistically, they're going to end up against each other. It's going to be 2 out of those 3 in the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
I don't see the Pelicans. Maybe the Suns, but I'm kind of a hater. The Suns are probably my least favorite team right now.
I hate the Suns. Speaking of overrated players, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, very overrated.
I mean,
he's one of those players that you watch, and it's just you realize he's a shot chucker,
Exactly. He's the type of person to put up like 44 shots, and then they're like, oh my God, he got a 40-point game. Like, on like 30% shooting efficiency.
Yeah. And it just doesn't. He doesn't make sense. I don't know that Bradley Beal's been doing that well.
And
he's great, but
they also give their fans a reason to hate them because they have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker.
Bull.
And they're in the 7th seed.
7th seed.
I mean,
behind the New Orleans Pelicans.
Like it's very disappointing, and I think it's a management issue as well. But I also just don't like the team, so I'm
I very much dislike Grayson Allen. I think he's got most punchable face.
He's had a good season.
Punchable face. Punchable face.
He's had a very.
We don't like that guy. Grayson Allen.
He's violent. He's a violent man.
He's violent. He's rude. What he did to Alex Caruso will never be forgiven.
Exactly.
That's
what he did to Alex Caruso. Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus. Now to switch it a little bit, but this is something very important in the basketball world. Is women's college hoops, man. It's been real. Caitlin Clark.
I think it's.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You're the Detroit Pistons. You got the number 1 pick in the lottery. You got that. Do you draft Caitlin Clark?
Drafting Caitlin Clark. I'm drafting Caitlin Clark over Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg is in the next.
I'm drafting Caitlin Clark over Cooper Flagg.
Okay, why is that? Tell us why.
I think Cooper Flagg's a bust. I mean, I'm tired of these rookies busting, but
there's a lot of rookie busts lately. Scoot Henderson.
Cooper Flagg. Oh, bro, that's crazy.
Scoot Henderson.
How do you say bust?
Okay, when you analyze his game, he's making a lot of very important errors that you can get away with in college. And so it gives him oh my God, you can get away with in high school. It still gives the impression that when he gets to the NBA, he's going to have at least a very tough
shouldn't we be talking about women right now?
I'm literally getting to that, seriously.
I think Caitlin Clark, it's a dang shame she can't play in the NBA because, frankly, I think that type of talent is generational, men or women. I was watching.
But I also think it's good that the Women's Basketball Association has a player that people can argue is on the caliber of an NBA player and not worry about bringing her over to the men's team.
That's true.
Because I think it
he brings up a good
the
point.
Women's Association a time to show that women's players can be just as good.
Hey, I'm gonna be watching the WNBA.
Amen.
I think she's going to.
I've watched more women's college basketball games. Then I've watched March Madness games for the men's.
I didn't know my phone ran out of storage. We had to switch phones. We had a little incident. Right. It's been a minute, but we're back. We're talking about women's college hoops.
And where we were talking about Caitlin Clark, you know, you can't really say Caitlin Clark without mentioning her rival.
I love Caitlin Clark.
Well, we have a lot of Caitlin Clark fans in the room, but you cannot talk about Caitlin Clark without talking about her rival, Angel Reese, who she just recently knocked off in the March Madness tournament that we had yesterday.
I love Angel Reese.
And yes, there's a lot of Angel Reese fans in this room as well. But it seemed as though, you know, we thought there was a lot of beef between them, all with Angel Reese.
But it's all love. It's all
love because as we saw, there was a clip that you can run it up right here. It was a clip of Angel Reese, you know, shaking hands with Caitlin Clark after the game was over, just, you know, as so, and they kind of whispered something. They were laughing. It seems as though they're all good. And there are a bunch of other female players that we could talk about as well.
We had a little spill incident, but it's gonna be okay.
You never do that again!
Okay, looks like the director just got mad.
So some other.
Why'd you piss on me? Don't whip your dingling out again!
Unfortunately, there was a urinating accident on set. However, we will be continuing.
So some
with it.
other good women's college players. We've got Paige Beckers at UConn. She's been really talented. Also hits those threes just like Caitlin Clark, just as good. She was Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. Let's be honest, but also been great. Juju Watkins over at USC.
USC.
Juju Watkins. She's putting up like 100 shots a game.
Juju
But
on that beat.
she's getting like 50 points. So it's a little give and take there. But you got to respect it. She's good. She was crying after they lost to UConn. A lot of emotion.
Shows that she has that passion.
They
though.
really care.
Cry, baby!
That's
we
enough.
Win. That's
enough.
where I draw the line.
All right.
Personally.
So we love women's college hoops. We watch it. I was watching all night last night.
I love women. Go.
So we're gonna be closing it out now. We're gonna do a little ball knowledge test. We're playing this game. It's called Pirtle, named after Jakob Pirtle. Kind of rhymes with Wordle. And you basically have
Similar game format.
You have to guess the NBA player. And it'll tell you like if you got the right team, number, height, all that.
Oh, guys, screen recorded.
So
we are
it is
screen
recorded. This is Mohan's phone, and the autofill is dad, which you can see.
a good guest player to start off of.
Who would be good to start
Obviously,
with?
want a player who kind of
In the middle.
checks all the general categories. I like to go with Rui Hachimura. I think he's a good mid-level player, mid-age, etc. But if we want to start on the East, maybe, then we can do someone like Mikal Bridges.
Let's go for Mikal Bridges. I like that.
Let's start a little Mikal Bridges.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
All right, my turn.
Ooh, not
so
much.
it looks like this player is obviously in the West. They're shorter than 6'6", younger than 27, but barely, and their number's above 1.
Oh, LeBron.
But barely. Not LeBron. So let's think. Who's in the
Short.
West?
He's a short player. Let's go for
shorter than
Kyrie
6'6".
Irving.
In the West, no, because Kyrie's not younger than 27.
Is he not?
He's like,
Dude,
he's reaching Unk status.
He is.
Kyrie reaching
yeah,
unstatus?
Uncle Drew right there. Let me think.
Sorry.
Let's go.
We'll cut that
someone
Norman
like-
Powell.
Norman Powell's definitely taller than 6'6".
For sure.
And it's gonna be because look, see how the 1 is yellow?
Fred VanVleet.
Do you see how the 1 is yellow? That means their number is barely above 1. It's a 2 or a 3.
Fred VanVleet is a
What
good guess.
number does he wear? Okay, let's go Fred VanVleet.
What a guess.
So great. He's in the West and he's a guard.
He's taller than 6 foot. We know that now. He's in between 6 foot and 6 foot.
He's not in the Southwestern Conference.
I didn't know Fred was 30.
Fred is old.
And he's between number 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's like he's 2 or 3. You know who this could be?
Who?
I haven't thought of it yet.
Oh.
You know what I'm thinking?
Austin Reed.
You know what I love? You know what guess I love?
What?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shea is taller than 6'5".
No.
Shea is taller than 6'5". I swear to God.
Shai 6'6". Hey, Northwestern Conference. That's good.
It's Jalen.
He is 25 years old. He does wear the number 2.
Wait, what about Balin Levine?
It's Jalen. Wait, what? How is it not him?
So let's see. What's the Northwestern Conference? So it could be someone on the Blazers. Who's 25? Where's the number 2? Is it? It's not Scoot Henderson, is it? You want to throw out a Scoot? Is he 25?
He's not 25.
He's not 25. You want to throw out maybe someone on the Jazz or the Nuggets?
Guard.
Yeah, definitely someone on the Nuggies.
Purd.
No.
Or no, not Purdle. Sorry. What's his name? Pozemski.
Oh, Podzemski? No, he's in the Pacific Conference. The Warriors are Pacific. Let's see. We could maybe. You know what? Oh, thank you so much.
The producer who was urinating earlier has just
brought
now
us our
brought
water.
us beverages to make it right. Thank you so much.
Anyway, let's throw out Scoot Henderson. because
I don't
maybe
know.
he's
Scoot
25.
is not 30.
Maybe he's 25.
Scoot Henderson is not. See, like he's 20.
He's
Like
20.
what are we doing here?
Okay, but we know it's not. They're not on Portland now. Okay,
We know he's 6'3". Is this?
he's 6'3". He wears the number 2. Who's 6'3"? Wears
Who
the
are
number
players
2.
on the Northwest Division?
25 years old. Northwest, I believe, is Nuggets, Jazz,
Oh, so busted.
Blazers. Can you stop?
Oh, my bad.
And the Timberwolves. Ooh, who's on the Wolves and is 25? Who wears number 2 on the Wolves? Is this Nas Reed? No,
Nas Reed is
he doesn't wear number 2.
And he's taller than that.
I'm not cheating. I'm gonna look up Northwestern Division. How many tries do you have?
We'll cut this part out.
We have
So this is
We have a bunch
not
of tries. We
showing
have
me
like
the
4
Northwest Division. Okay. Oh, the Thunder. Okay. Jazz, Blazers.
I'm thinking
okay,
someone
I
on
was
the Jazz. I'm thinking maybe
right. Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton is
Colin
short.
Sexton. Colin Sexton.
That,
Wait,
that's
how do you
a
spell
good
Colin
guess.
Sexton?
I'm calling and I'm sexting.
We're about to get this right, so. Hey,
Another
it's been a
victory.
great episode. It's been a great episode. And hey, thanks for watching.
Yep.
We'll see y'all right before the playoffs.
Goodbye, Lila.
Drop a little
Gang.
predictions. Bye, Lila. Gang.
Lila, gang.
Hey,
Gang, gang, gang. All
It's
right.
like moldy water.
Water. Hey, next time we might have some guest stars. Tune in every week, man. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
See y'all next time.